Hi guys, this video is my experience on my first e-bike, the Phoenix folding e-bike. So here I'm gonna share my thoughts, my opinions on how this bike rides. So if you don't know me, I am Kurt Barcelona and I make engineering videos, but this is dear to heart. This is the Phoenix e-bike. So this was my first owned e-bike, which I already had prior experience abroad, but I really wanted one on my own. And the most cost-effective, bang for the buck solution was this. This was a China-made 250 watt hub motor e-bike, which is folding and has a heavy battery. The range, it's more than 40 kilometers per single charge, an alloy frame, and it can be used anywhere. I mean anywhere, because it has a small footprint. You can just easily squeeze through the crowd or even tight spaces. So overall, in my experience, this was a good adventure bike compared to my mountain bike, of course. Because with this, I could go in my city commutes, I could go towards rough roads, and I could even store it readily in my car. A very versatile bike indeed. However, it does come with downsides. So the first downside I would say is that this bike, despite its stature, it's a bit unstable. This is common for folding bikes because the center of mass is quite above the bike. So you can't just easily use the handlebar to turn on a very tight radius as you would fall over, which I did. On my first week of the bike, I fell and I injured my palm. So I was really careful thereafter. Second, this e-bike isn't that smooth. What do I mean by smooth? Because I've tried numerous e-bikes and this one, the motor isn't just smoothly giving power when you need it. You have to command the motor when, where, and how much power you need using the throttle. Because if you just use the motor or if you use its pedal assist function, it will just immediately give the power at maximum power that you will need at that moment. It doesn't care about the torque, the conditions that you are in. It'll just give it all if you use the pedal assist function. But when you use the throttle smoothly, it is fine. Another downside is that even though this bike is small and flexible, it doesn't have gears because it doesn't have a derailleur system. It's only a single speed bike. So the most common number of teeth that you could replace, especially on the single speed sprocket, is either 16 teeth or 18 teeth. But if you want a more high-speed bike, you will go for a 16 teeth. But again, it's more difficult to turn because it needs more torque. Whereas if you use an 18 teeth, which is the stock number of teeth on the rear sprocket, you'll have an easy acceleration. But when you're at speed, you cannot really apply some torque because most of the torque is being applied by the motor. That's one con of this bike. It's not smooth. It behaves like a bike initially, but over time it behaves like a mini electric scooter, which is a bit frustrating given that the brakes here are pretty strong because the disc brakes, especially in the front, can be really grabby, and sometimes if you grab it all together at maximum braking force, it will just slip like what I did before. Even though that it is a folding bike, sometimes it's not really good if you use this bike when you're going uphill because again, you don't have a gearing leverage. You only have a single speed. And if you use that uphill, it might be very difficult for you and the motor to keep up. Other bikes, like in the same category as this bike, like the Xiaomi one, has internal gear hub, which makes a smaller footprint and you can have the leverage of gearing despite the small size of the wheels. But this one, it doesn't have that. However, when road conditions are appropriate, you could just speed away. It has a good amount of acceleration and it has a smooth riding experience despite the lack of suspension because of its wide wheels. Cruising down the coastal road, the maximum speed is very limited to less than 23 kilometers per hour. Believe me, you don't want to go 20 kilometers per hour with this kind of bike. Despite these disadvantages, I really enjoyed the bike because I could carry it anywhere I go. I traveled more places with this bike compared to other bikes, and that's the advantage of folding bikes. It's very versatile. You could just go anywhere. You could ride anywhere. Final thoughts about this bike. In describing the ride experience, it's like a little bit of a folding bike in the beginning, but as you go along the journey, it feels more of a scooter. It carries a lot of power and torque. However, you don't have that feel of a bicycle as it cruises along the road. In a sense, it doesn't feel bikey. This bike is really versatile. Comparing this folding bike to my pedal assist Japanese bike, when I'm riding it, this folding e-bike doesn't really give me a sweat. It's very easy to ride. It feels like a scooter because 80 to 90% when you are riding on this bike, the power comes from the battery and motor. It's only in the initial that you have to feel the bike experience, but most of the time it's like a scooter. So when you are using this for work, it's as if you're not riding at all. It feels so chill. It feels so easy. Whereas if you use a pedal assist bike, it feels like a bike. You still sweat a little bit, but compared to this one, this is like a perfect commute if you don't want to break a sweat. But as for me, in my personal take, I really enjoy the bike experience. So sadly, this bike is not considered a true bike in a sense, but it's a good collection to have. It minimizes a lot of the effort that you put into transporting yourself. So hope you enjoy, guys, and please hit that share, like button, and subscribe to my channel. See ya. Hope this helps. Bye bye.